Welcome to World Alert Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Tonight we take you to Okinawa, Japan, a place of stunning beauty now shadowed by fear. This island paradise, known for its vibrant culture and breathtaking landscapes, is facing a new and unsettling reality. The turquoise waters and serene beaches mask a growing storm. Beneath the calm surface, anxiety simmers, as the people of Okinawa brace for what may come. Tensions between global superpowers are rising, and Okinawa is on the front line. The island's strategic location has made it a focal point for military buildup and international attention. Chinese warships and fighter jets are now a regular sight, turning abstract threats into daily anxieties for residents. The presence of these forces is no longer just a headline, it's a part of everyday life. The air is thick with unease as China's assertive moves around nearby Taiwan send shockwaves through the islands. Every news update is met with apprehension as families wonder how close conflict might come. Massive military drills by Beijing simulating a blockade of Taiwan are watched with bated breath. These exercises, once distant, now feel dangerously close, raising fears of a sudden escalation. Okinawans know their home's strategic location could make them the first casualties in any regional conflict. The thought lingers in every household, shaping conversations and daily routines. This isn't a distant worry debated in Tokyo or Washington, it's a daily reality in Naha and across the archipelago. The tension is palpable, woven into the fabric of daily life from bustling markets to quiet neighborhoods. Local fishermen spot more naval ships than ever, and the roar of jets overhead is now routine. The sea, once a source of livelihood and peace, has become a reminder of looming danger. The question is no longer if conflict could happen, but when. Conversations with neighbors and friends often turn to contingency plans and what the future might hold. As Japan and the US bolster their military presence, Okinawa transforms from tranquil paradise to strategic chessboard. The arrival of new troops and equipment is both reassuring and unsettling for locals. New radar installations and missile systems are being deployed, and soldiers drill for once unthinkable scenarios. The landscape is changing, with military infrastructure now dotting the horizon. This rapid militarization is changing Okinawan society. Children walk to school past armed checkpoints, and protests against the buildup grow louder, reflecting deep divisions within the community. While Tokyo frames these moves as defense, many locals see them as dangerous escalation. Town hall meetings are filled with passionate debate, as residents voice fears of being caught in the crossfire. The peace Okinawa has known feels fragile, on the verge of breaking. For many, memories of past conflicts are resurfacing, fueling a desire for peace, and a hope that history will not repeat itself. The islands now stand at the epicenter of a great power struggle, their future uncertain. As the world watches, Okinawa's fate hangs in the balance, a symbol of both resilience and vulnerability in a brewing storm. The alarm in Okinawa is fueled by China's recent military maneuvers. Beijing's large-scale drills near Taiwan are designed to intimidate and showcase power. Chinese warplanes cross the Taiwan Strait's median line, and ballistic missiles have landed in Japan's exclusive economic zone, an unprecedented provocation. These actions shatter any sense of security, making the threat of conflict real for Japan. Chinese Coast Guard vessels now routinely enter waters around the disputed Senkaku Islands, testing Japan's resolve. Joint Chinese-Russian naval patrols encircle Japan, challenging the US-Japan security architecture. In response, Japan scrambles fighter jets at record pace, straining its defense forces. Tense encounters in the sky are now daily, with the risk of miscalculation ever present. The shadow of China's military grows darker each month, forcing Okinawa and Tokyo to prepare for a confrontation they hope never comes. Okinawa's unique geography places it at the very center of Asia's complex security dilemma. Its position, stretching across the East China Sea, makes it a natural gateway between the Pacific and the Asian mainland. This small chain of islands, often overlooked on the map, is in fact a critical crossroads where the interests of major powers collide. The Okinawa Islands form a vital link in what military strategists call the first island chain. This arc of islands acts as a barrier, containing China's expanding navy, and helping to secure the Pacific for both Japan and the United States. Control of this chain is seen as essential for maintaining the balance of power in the region. Today, Okinawa hosts the largest concentration of US military forces anywhere in Japan. Over half of all American troops stationed in the country are based here. These bases are not just symbols of alliance, but active instruments of deterrence and rapid response. Bases like Kadena Air Base and Camp Hansen operate around the clock as military hubs, constantly training and preparing to respond to crises across Asia. Their presence ensures that both the US and Japan can project power quickly, should tensions flare in the region. For Japan, Okinawa is the linchpin of its southwest shift, a major strategic move to relocate military assets closer to potential flashpoints, such as the disputed Senkaku Islands and Taiwan Strait. This shift reflects growing concerns about regional security and the need for rapid deployment. New military installations on islands like Yonaguni and Ishigaki, now equipped with advanced anti-ship and anti-aircraft missile systems, create a formidable defensive screen. These outposts extend Japan's reach and strengthen its ability to monitor and respond to threats. Yet, Okinawa's immense strategic value also makes it a prime target in any potential conflict. Its military facilities are closely watched by adversaries and are likely to be among the first struck in a crisis. Chinese strategists openly view the US bases here as obstacles to their ambitions, threats that would need to be neutralized if hostilities ever broke out. Regular Chinese military exercises in nearby waters underscore the risks Okinawa faces. For both the United States and Japan, holding Okinawa is non-negotiable. The alliance is reinforced daily through joint command centers, shared intelligence, and combined training exercises. The islands are not only a strategic prize but also a potential battlefield, one where the fate of the wider region could be decided. Despite making up less than 1% of Japan's total land area, Okinawa bears a disproportionate share of the nation's defense burden. Military bases occupy a significant portion of the island, shaping daily life for its residents. The weight of this responsibility is felt every day by Okinawans, who live with the constant presence of foreign troops, the noise of military aircraft, and the ever-present risk of becoming a front line in future conflicts. Protests and calls for base reductions reflect the tension between national security and local well-being. Ultimately, the fate of these islands is inseparable from the shifting balance of power in Asia. As rivalries intensify and alliances are tested, Okinawa remains both a shield and a flashpoint, its future tied to the uncertain tides of regional geopolitics. Japan is undergoing a historic shift from post-war pacifism to proactive defense. The government now seeks counterstrike capabilities including long-range missiles, and has pledged to double defense spending. Japan's latest national security strategy names China as its greatest strategic challenge. New garrisons and missile units are being activated on islands like Ishigaki and Yonaguni, hardening Japan's southern flank. Joint US-Japan military exercises are now larger and more complex, focusing on integrated operations for high-intensity conflict. The self-defense forces are training for scenarios once unimaginable. This transformation is not just about hardware, it's a new mindset. Japan is preparing to actively contribute to regional security, a dramatic change from just a decade ago. For Okinawans, the ongoing military buildup is not just a matter of national security. It revives painful memories and deep generational fears that linger beneath the surface of daily life. The Battle of Okinawa in 1945 was one of the bloodiest in history, claiming over a quarter of the local population. The scars of that devastation run deep, and its horrors are not forgotten by those who survived, nor by their descendants who grew up hearing stories of loss and survival. Today, the construction of new bases and the roar of warplanes overhead are haunting echoes of a past when Okinawa was treated as a sacrifice zone, its people caught in the crossfire of global conflict. Many locals see the US and Japanese military presence not as a shield, but as a magnet for attack, making their home a potential front line in future conflicts. Protests and anti-base movements have grown stronger, fueled by the belief that more weapons and troops only make Okinawa a bigger target, rather than a safer place. The daily burdens, constant noise from low-flying jets, the risk of accidents, and incidents of crime linked to the bases add to a sense of resentment and frustration among residents. Despite making up just 0.6% of Japan's landmass, Okinawa hosts about 70% of all US military facilities in the country, a disproportionate burden that shapes every aspect of life on the islands. Many Okinawans feel their voices are ignored by Tokyo, their sacrifices overlooked, and their concerns dismissed by distant policymakers. With the threat of war looming in the region, old grievances gain new urgency, and the anxiety of the past is reignited in the present. Elderly survivors, who still remember the horrors of war firsthand, warn younger generations that war brings only suffering, loss, and trauma that can last a lifetime. Their message is clear and unwavering. Okinawa must never again become a battlefield, and peace must be protected at all costs. This deep-rooted pacifist sentiment among Okinawans often clashes with the strategic imperatives and military priorities driving the buildup, creating tension between local desires and national policy. The islands remain caught between the weight of their tragic history and the pressures of modern geopolitics, struggling to find a path forward that honors both their past and their hopes for a peaceful future. The US-Japan alliance is stronger than ever, with integrated training and intelligence sharing on full display in Okinawa. Marines and Japanese forces drill together, aiming for seamless cooperation in any conflict. But this unity at the top masks deep local divisions. The US military presence is a major source of opposition, symbolized by protests against the new runway at Hanoko. The local government opposes the project, clashing with Tokyo's strategic priorities. Many Okinawans feel decisions about their land are made without their consent. As the military buildup accelerates, so does local resentment and fear of entanglement in a US-China conflict. The measures meant to strengthen security for Japan are seen by many Okinawans as making their lives more dangerous. At the heart of Japan's transformation is a contentious reinterpretation of its pacifist constitution. Article 9, which renounces war, long limited Japan's military to self-defense. But new security laws now allow Japan to defend allies, especially the US, if Japan's survival is threatened. This shift is especially relevant to a potential Taiwan conflict. Japan could join the fight if the US intervenes. The change is controversial, with critics fearing entanglement in American wars and the loss of pacifist ideals. Proponents argue Japan must adapt to a more dangerous world. The debate over Article 9 is a battle for the nation's soul. Japan stands at a crossroads, deciding how far it will go to defend itself and its allies. The struggle for Okinawa is also a war of narratives. China promotes a historical narrative questioning Japan's sovereignty over the Ryukyus, seeking to exploit Okinawan grievances and unique identity. Disinformation campaigns target Okinawans, amplifying anti-base sentiment and suggesting a future apart from Japan and the US counter with public diplomacy, emphasizing alliance benefits and shared values. But deep-seated grievances make Okinawans receptive to alternative narratives. This digital battlefield adds complexity to the crisis. The outcome of this war of words could shape Okinawa's future as much as any military confrontation. As conflict looms, Okinawa faces a sobering new reality, preparing for the worst. Civilian evacuation drills are now held for the first time since World War II, a stark sign of the times. Evacuating over 1 million people across the sea would be a logistical nightmare, with ports and airports likely targets. Many residents fear they could be trapped if war breaks out. Local governments are designating shelters, but there aren't enough for everyone. The psychological toll is immense, as families confront the possibility of war. Japan's decision to double defense spending underscores this new era. Billions flow into missile defense and military infrastructure, but uncertainty and fear remain. The ultimate question: how far will Japan go to defend Taiwan? And can it protect Okinawa if conflict erupts? As the region holds its breath, Okinawans brace for a precarious future.